Let's see what we'll learn this time. Hmm. Can't hurt to take a look around while I wait. I don't know if that's true. But, you know, that's whatever.
Skirk is amazing. She faced down that terrifying giant and cut its head clean off.
She got hurt though, didn't she? I heard it was pretty bad.
Yeah, well, that's a given. But the moment she was on the mend, she got right back to practicing her sword work. I heard Master suffered a grave injury once too. Lost an arm and a leg and still came back stronger than ever. Skirk's becoming more like him by the day.
Incredible. I wonder if I'll ever reach their level. They're always so resolute, so unshakable.
Pathetic. You're not even trying. You're so much weaker than you think.
Skirk, have you become a positive light in this world?
Do you even remember how many of us perished in that fire? How many bodies were left to rot on the scorched earth?
Keep your gaze fixed on your blade. You don't deserve to rest.
I have so many questions. I just want to jump in a spaceship, explore the whole universe, and get answers from the stars. I just need to wait till I'm grown up.
Now, you must bid farewell to who you were in the past and become someone stronger.
Run, Skirk, run! Only death awaits us here.
Let's see here. First things first, you need a new identity. Going around telling people you're from somewhere beyond the stars won't do, now will it? How about saying you hail from beneath the earth instead? As the Conrian saying goes, venturing out into the universe and down into the abyss are the same in that both are braving the dark unknown.
Well, I'm a visitor on this planet, so I'll follow the rules.
Oh, splendid. That saves me quite a bit of trouble. Let me offer you a piece of advice in return. Although it might not be what you want to hear. I know the pursuit of strength is important to you, but taking a moment for yourself every once in a while is never a bad idea. Ignore her existence for too long, and there will come a day when you can no longer hear her voice.
Wonder who that's talking about. Really?
You're awake! You must be starving, right? Ta-da! A barbecue feast just for you! Of course you are! That's why Skirk and Paimon got this all ready for you. Ah, well, if you're around someone long enough, it's bound to happen. Plus, Skirk can cook. So, Paimon decided she can forgive the whole Ice Queen thing. Paimon's not one to hold a grudge.
Here's an idea. Let's save the chit-chat until after the meal.
Ugh, so full. Okay, it's Paimon's turn to sleep now.
I have good news. First, your training is complete. You have what it takes to wield immense power. Now it's just a matter of putting it into practice. Continue to learn from your journey and hone your skills against formidable opponents. Second, I've located the culprit we've been searching for. Next, just need to retrieve the missing part of your soul, and our business will be concluded. When Ajax trained with me, he once told me he was bursting with questions. So I allowed him to ask me 3 of them before he left. You and I may never meet again, traveler. So if there's anything you want to ask me, now's your opportunity.
Because yeah, that's what the most important one is.
Okay, not the angle I was expecting.
Sorry I didn't tell you earlier, but we were dream mirroring. I think I saw your memories.
I knew that was a possible side effect. Closed off my mind to you for that exact reason. Even with the dream mirroring, you should have seen nothing but endless darkness.
I didn't show memories on purpose. I actually tried our best to keep them from me. Even in this darkness, my first time here, it was all I saw until the strange creature appeared.
Whatever. Must have been a flaw in my execution. I shouldn't be too surprised. Since you've seen what you've seen, there's no reason to hide the truth. No, I'm not from Teyvat. I'm from a different planet. And there was a time when I journeyed through the stars. No, we're different in that respect. You're influencing the fate of this world. But me, I'm just passing through. Several hundred years ago, my master, Sertologi, opened the border between worlds and sent me here. But this is not my home. And one day, I'll return to the vast unknown of space. So, there you have it. On to your second question.
Also, to note about Skirk, I felt like this might... her design is way too Honkai Impact. I just have to say it. She is way too Honkai Impact in design. What's your goal in coming in?
Become stronger. For certain reasons, I need to bridge the power gap between me and my master as quickly as possible. But first, I need to understand the source of his strength.
Hearing become stronger is just... all it does is bring the Delta Rot back. The Delta Rot back. Proceed.
To do that, I need to follow in his footsteps. Walk the path he once walked. And somewhere along the way, I'll find out how to defeat him. Okay.
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk and that unknown abyss. But it's been years now.
Well...
yeah, Child's looking for you, right? Are you gonna let him see you?
His situation is different than yours. Before you ever crossed paths with me, you'd already encountered many formidable people, studied their techniques, and developed your own skill set. So, during your training, all I had to do was build upon that foundation. But Ajax was so young when he came to me. A complete blank canvas. Children can't help but imitate their role models. Once Ajax has enough strength in his own right, I will allow us to meet again. Until then, let that motivate him to reach his full potential.
It just sounds like the decision was something to do with the child and nothing to do with her. What does she actually feel about that? This silent. This man must be lonely after a while. Not to mention, she said it's been hundreds of years since she arrived in Teyvat. Even longer than that if you count for how so slowly time passes.
Unlike you, I have no desire to establish a connection with the world. The weak and the lowly have no right to remember me.
All the time, she never established a connection with this world. Was it really just because she looks down on the weak? I doubt she'd give me a straight answer if I asked. Besides, I already used my 3 questions. She was happy to give me cold, hard facts, but I still feel like I haven't heard her true voice.
Wake up your companion. It's time to go. Oh, and everything I just told you. Best keep it a secret from her as well.
Time to go. Oh, finally. Where are we headed?
Just follow me. I'll open an abyssal rift close to the culprit's location. It will take us to where he's hiding.
What the... ow. some normal enemies that are usually there. Near the chasm, that makes sense. Frick. Did they? I just realized how far away I am from my character. Huh. I feel like that's farther than it used to be. I'm not sure. I never paid much attention to the screen bloom.
Yes. If we enter from here, we'll be able to reach that place from your dream. You have some experience with abyssal domains by now, but still, this is someone else's territory.
Don't worry. Paimon's an expert at hiding behind other people for safety. Oh, but, that means you need to stay safe, traveler.
All right. Remember your training.
I don't feel like it will make a difference for the training, but we'll know. We'll see if it forces me to use Traveler. No, it gives me a Trial Skirk and a Hydro Traveler? Why? This thing sucks! Really? 4-piece Gladiator? I don't even remember what the fuck this thing does. Helm +4, but that's just because of... Oh, I guess that makes sense if they want to use Skirk. They'd have to use Hydro Traveler. Yeah, it's just an off-field Hydro damage dealer that's like really bad at doing that. I mean, kind of, but it's not like consistent is the issue.
Mine to wield.
Like, look at that incredible damage. Yeah, her animations are pretty cool. I like her. I like just how they made it so that it's like, you know, not explicitly cryo. It just kind of looks like it.
You know what? Paimon's just gonna float behind you. Come on, you got this.
Hey, what are you two doing here? Dusty. Abandoned house. Let's press on.
I love her movement. It's so cool looking. Also, she has arguably the best designed signature weapon in the entire game. It looks so fucking good. I like the how angular it is, how like sharp it is. Like, I don't think we have a sword of this shape, like in the game, other than this sword. Like, at least not really, not that many of them at least. Like, I like new because it's technically not mine. Like, if I go to all the sword characters, do I have any swords that kind of look like that? I don't think so. I don't think we have any swords in the game that look like that. Other than this new one. Most of them are either double-bladed longsword or single-bladed katanas. Are generally like every blade in the game. Yeah, like it's either double bladed like this, and therefore like with a tip, or it's single bladed with a curve. They don't have anything like this. Single bladed but still flat. Like it ends like with the point going in one direction, rather than coming together at two different points. This is literally just so easy to dodge. It's just walk. You don't have to actually think about it at all.
Oh, looks like this is a dead end. Did we make it to his hiding place? Ugh, this fog is making it impossible to see anything.
This should be the place where you were attacked, Traveler. The missing part of your soul should be nearby. Our opponent must have covered his tracks just in case. Otherwise, you should have sensed it much more strongly.
Although I do like how she has two different outfits. It looks so good. Look at this. Look at the black outfit. It fits so well.
Hold on, look! The spikes are back!
Stay calm. Let's hold back a little. Give our enemy some wiggle room so we can see what we're dealing with. If you're too reckless, you might be playing right into his hands. Our enemy took part of your soul for a reason. It's likely he integrated it into his attack somehow.
All right, through this part. See, unlike real life, I could dodge into the blades.
From the start, the attacks have been focused on me. Trying to break through my defenses? I see.
Ah. Alright, that was... There it is. Oh, there's the rest of the soul.
There. I got it back.
Traveler! Skirk! What happened? It looked like Skirk just got...
In the Gwali Plains, you asked me why this enemy chose you as his target. Now, the answer is clear. It's not just the fact that your strength is impressive. It's also because of your ability to, as you put it, purify abyssal power, whatever that actually means. The fact is, that ability allowed him to do something that should have been completely impossible. Namely, break through my defenses and steal my power. No. He couldn't have known I'd come to his domain. He only stole your soul fragment because he knew the value of its power. I doubt he expected it to come in handy so soon. Call it fate if you want. I believe that's the term they use in this world for arbitrary coincidences like this. In any case, it works to our advantage. Once I realized what he was using that power for, I'll cope. Well, done gorging? Good. How did you get the power of the all-devouring narwhal?
The all-devouring narwhal? Oh, of course! Paimon knew that spike thing looked familiar.
I highly doubt you acquired that power through your own strength. You're desperate enough to scour the land for god remains and whatever vestiges of power you can find. That alone proves you wouldn't be able to defeat a creature like that. Which leaves one possibility. You know my master.
Foul. Dares call him foul.
What's wrong? Bit off more power than you can chew?
Just
Those obsessed with power will let it devour them before abandoning their pursuit. Keep calm and use reason to decide the best course of action. Wise decision. Final victory doesn't always come after a single battle. You've got your soul fragment back, so we both got what we came for. Get us out of here, Traveler. You'll need to lead the way this time.
Skirk, is your shoulder gonna be okay?
The wound is minor. It'll heal in no time. You should focus on getting out of here alive instead.
Falling spikes! Run! Watch out! Looks like this place is about to collapse!
Yeah, there's not enough stamina for this fight, for
Power has
running
something
this
to
fight.
do with the all-devouring narwhal. Did you know that all along, Skirk?
I had my suspicions. That's why I decided to investigate in the first place. I no longer sense his presence. Weaklings like him will find that my power is not so easily controlled. He won't be leaving that place until he's managed to digest it. You seem surprised. I suppose that's fair. You've seen but a fraction of what that whale is capable of. That gaping maw could swallow a planet whole. It's called the all-devouring narwhal for a reason. Devouring is what it does best. It can extract power from anything, dead or alive, as long as it manages to make physical contact.
Yeah. When we had our run-in with that thing, Neverlet mentioned that it has an instinct to devour.
Your dragon friend recognized the nature of its abilities and used the power of Hydro to protect you. That worked because it was in a satiated state, so it was somewhat less aggressive than usual. It's a different story when it has no more power to feed off of. That's when its true voracious nature kicks in. It could devour everything on the planet in that state, which is why I cast it into that void space. But I hadn't counted on there being anyone left on this planet capable of wielding its power. To me, that says he must have encountered the whale a long time ago. Meaning, he must have known my master.
Yeah, and you say the foul definitely has got a reaction out of it.
Exactly. It told me everything I needed to know. Hence why I said we both got what we came for. And I believe that brings our transaction to an end.
No way! We can't leave now!
This isn't my first taste of failure or losing power.
But what if that monster plus? How are you gonna get home? It's not like you can just go swoosh, open a door to the abyss again. So, sticking with us for the time being doesn't sound so bad, does it?
Just that I don't want to be in your debt while I still
Fair
am.
enough. Then take this. A bag of Mora. Nothing in this world is free. I'll leave the planning to you. Hurry up and decide where to go.
No
We should
fucking
take Skirk somewhere
shot.
she can rest. But where?
Dude, I really wish this was in
I
Sumeru.
don't like being around a lot of people. Oh wait! Baishu said we could rest in the back room of the pharmacy, didn't he? Let's head there!
So, I really wish a lot of these stories were in Sumeru. Specifically because I own Nahida, but I haven't had the chance to use this ability in ages. We don't get stories in that in Sumeru anymore. I mean, I don't mind it being in Liyue. Liyue is still my favorite region by far. But, come on. I want to use this. It's such a good ability. Oh well. Let's bring her to Boo Boo Pharmacy, I guess. Yeah, Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop the. I've on the Harder Than Before account for the Genshin one. I'll be honest, the challenge on that one is really boring and really long-winded. I think I'm probably just gonna take what I have on that account and just go all in on Skirk, because why not? Having at least one account with Skirk would be really nice. Unlike the other two accounts, where those challenges are, you know, a lot more useful.
Huh. This bag from Skirk has a ton of Mora in it. Does she have a job or something? Wait, no. After what we saw at Wami Restaurant, that seems impossible. Can you imagine? I'll be collecting my paycheck now, boss. Oh, sure thing. Wait, can't hold a job if you make everyone forget about you. So, what did she do to get all this Mora?
Genius.
Claimed some buried treasure, took care of a few monsters that were causing trouble.
You heard all that?
A sonorous voice like yours is hard to miss. I wouldn't be surprised if the sound of it traveled to the nearest mountaintop.
Then, did you by chance have...
You mean when you called me Frosty the Lavender Melon?
No, sorry. Paimon totally misspoke just now. Okay, fine. The truth is, Paimon didn't like you all that much at the start, but things are different now.
Ugh, I noticed there was only one bed.
Wait, what about you?
I don't get tired, and I don't need rest.
Ah, it's
I'm
just
going to
a
practice my
walkthrough.
sword work. That should help me regain some strength.
Your shoulder. Hey, don't just leave. Whatever. Let her tire herself out. She'll come back eventually. Let's get some sleep, Traveler. That comfy bed is calling, Paimon.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely more to this story quest than what we've gotten so far. Skirk is stubborn. You've never tried to convince her to take it easy? I doubt she'd listen. I was right. Skirk will stop and take a break when she gets tired, and I hope she'll just get some sleep. There are very few story quests in this game, especially for really important characters, that end up being super short. And I feel like this is definitely not going well. She didn't just get stabbed in the shoulder. Something seems off with her, though.
Quiet.
Not run around unless...
Do you even remember how many of us perished in that fire? How many bodies were left to rot on the scorched earth? Yet you alone live on.
Keep your gaze fixed on your blade.
Run! Skirk, run!
When Skirk was training alone, or just somebody's voices talking to her.
Getting an early night's sleep is the best. Wait, Skirk? Have you been sitting out here the whole night?
About 60%. Maybe 70.
Whew! Paimon thought it would take at least a couple of days.
No. Not fast enough. That's 20% less than last time. Same training regimen, same intensity. Nothing felt different. No. I need to meditate for the next 2 days.
Ooh, sounds intense.
Thanks.
Yeah, this story's definitely not over yet. Yeah, I think that's one of her idle animations. I saw it after going through her really long character introduction in the trial run.
Skirk is still meditating, huh? It's been 2 days already. Paimon can't think of anything we can do to help. Be right back.
Yo, are you still streaming? I've been on and off for different things. I'm doing the main quest right now. Well, I did the main quest and then I'm doing this one. Oh, alright, I could... Oh, it's this thing again. Except this time it's in real. What are you doing here? Oh, it's going to show me what's going on. Really curious what this thing is. I should start the quest. Yeah, this is Skirk's story quest. The main quest is actually surprisingly short. But it did answer quite a lot of things, such as, well, mostly relating to the actual main storyline, but it was very short compared to most of the other ones. You started? I did. I finished it already. That's what I did first. This is the Skirk's story quest, and it's really good so far. Where exactly? Iron cliffs, withered trees, and a strange river flowing from the horizon all the way here. It's broken up several times along the way. The waterfall at each breakpoint. With inspection, the color of the water is changing. As it gets to the lower portion, the darker it becomes. Huh.
That's right. This is Skirk's
Oh, now it's
inner
actually
world.
talking.
Think of it as the threshold between the soul and dreams. This isn't your first time here, but what you remember is probably a space covered in darkness.
Focus on my quest in
I
middle
only
school.
managed to illuminate a small portion for you back then.
So you can speak.
Actually, it's my first time talking to someone like this.
Yeah, after this, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. I really probably should be doing, uh, like, the Escoffier quest, because I still haven't done it. But I'm not quite needing to do that. This one I felt like was more important, and while it's not directly conducive to the main story, I do feel like, because it's Skirk, it's really important.
I only managed to break free and bring you here because the injury weakened her power. Call it fate if you want. Now, before I take you to her, I gotta ask. You're the first outside visitor to ever come here. Oh, you notice. This river represents Skirk's strength. Strength accumulates over time. It is the summation of a person's lived experience. So this river is where all the fragments of Skirk's life should converge into a single stream of memories and emotions, flowing forward as one.
Still haven't done Fontaine's story quest. I'd say Fontaine is definitely one of the really good ones. Especially, like, for the character development and learning, like, just how different characters are from how you initially think they're going to be. I think, like, by far, if you are like me and you love Neuvillette and Farina, then you definitely really appreciated that story quest. But unlike other people who absolutely glaze the crap out of Fontaine, I will say that uh, uh, Natlin is not as bad as people seem to be talking about it. People say Natlin is like the worst nation. I'm like, what? I'd say it's arguably better than Fontaine overall, at least in my opinion. Especially because 3.1, or sorry, 4.1 fucking sucked. That story quest was awful. The only part I cared about that entire thing was at the end, which was the sealing part and the child in the abyss part. That's the only part I cared about. It was just two small cutscenes, and that was it. But of course, the thing I'm still the most excited for is the overarching storyline, specifically the whole Dainsliff Abyss Order stuff. You know, finding the sibling, what the story is about, is the thing I care about the most, which is why the new one that came out is super good. But yeah, Fontaine is quite long. I've never done it all in one stretch before, so I have no idea how long it is, but it is pretty long. Frida should not die like this, not worth it. What part of the Fontaine story quest are you in? I'm kind of curious.
But as you can see, this river has been severed numerous times. It's because Skirk doesn't like who she was in the past, and all she sees reflected in the river is a disgraceful shadow of who she was. She cuts through water and rock with the sword of reason, severs her connection with the past, and begins anew.
You must learn to shut out all the pointless emotion. Crush the self that makes you weak, and become master over your physical form.
The drop down next. Hold on, I have to reset my stream thing because it's not giving me any comments. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you were like right on the end. So you're talking about Focalor, not Furina. Focalor died because she wanted to. Furina did not die. Because immediately after that should have been the cutscene. So you did you see the actual like Norvalet ascending to power cutscene? It should have happened immediately after that. It's not Furina's sister, no. Focalor and Furina are technically the same person. Focalor created Furina as a human version of her. Focalor wanted a human version of her, so she then cursed her with immortality, which is what we learned just before that. Furina is 100% human. She lives a normal human lifespan, but was cursed to live a long life, which is why she has no Archon powers. Yeah, it's more or less a clone, pretty much, a creation to live as a human version of her. But yeah, immediately after that should have just been the shortly after the Ascension to Power scene should have been the fight with. How long after is it? I don't remember. You should be fighting the big ass whale soon, and that's literally the end of the quest.
This isn't my first taste of failure or losing power. When you fall, you get back up again and become stronger.
The answer to one mystery invites another question. Let's follow the river upstream.
Should eat
There
breakfast?
among the cliffs, among the memories etched into her heart, lies the truth of it all. Soon,
It's
she'll understand everything.
it's 1:46 for me. 3 p.m. I don't know how. I was about to say where you live, but I just remember you mentioned New York earlier, so you should only be, I think, an hour ahead of me. Yeah, so you're only one time zone over. I learned that because one of the musicians I really like also lives in New York, Wispex. Oh, and I used to watch a lot of her streams a lot. I think it was like around a year ago where I started watching her, and I watched her like every day. Mostly, it's just really good music though. So I can never constantly keep up with that. Like this, okay, I saw something about this. When did she see this? Did she see it shortly after it was written, or did that sand just like never erode away? Showing the sand. Look, Drew Pommel might just show up with Skirks memories.
I've always thought that, even when falling leaves don't come from the same tree, they can still form bonds of kinship when they meet. Like meteors, you both made a journey through the stars. Both travelers who have landed on a planet that is not your home. Yet, when she first noticed your presence, although she hesitated for a moment, she still chose to walk away, indifferent as ever.
Not surprising at all. After what happened at Woman Restaurant, it's obvious she disappeared from other people's lives. Okay, so it was literally shortly after it happened, so she was watching us for a while. Doesn't seem child in years either. I doubt she's ever made a connection with this world of her own volition. What I'm seeing now is a microcosm of her entire life.
Seems like you've answered your own question.
Yep, pretty much.
Skirk sees herself as a trespasser in this world. She's made a conscious choice to avoid altering its path. But the reason for that decision stems from events much earlier on in her life. Let's keep going.
Like, yeah, I can walk on this. It just looks like butter.
now have what it takes to wield immense power. No one can become a worthy warrior through imitation alone. I have given you fangs and claws. Now, you must learn to hunt.
You wish me to travel the world beyond on my own, Master?
Indeed. Make new friends. Embark on your own journey. And piece together a new future from the shattered remnants of your past. We will still have contact through the Abyss. But know this. One day, I will take the life you worked so hard to rebuild and reduce it to ashes. Just like the fire that haunts your mind.
Okay, so that thing we saw inside of the Aldebaran Narwhal is a representation of Sertologi. That's actually kind of cool.
Why?
I have told you before. Fear is the catalyst for human evolution. You have tasted loss. You have known fear. So deep, it can be felt in the bones.
And that's why she just chooses to not become attached to anyone, to prefer to be not a part of anyone's life, because she wants there to be no victim to this besides herself.
But as living beings, we all have an instinct to detach from that which harms us. And thus, pain dampens over time. And the acrid taste of fear becomes but a distant memory. Yet now, I have bestowed upon you the gift of fear eternal. It will drown you in the nightmare of your childhood. Or it shall drive you to defeat me, whatever the cost.
Figure Skirk looks familiar. I saw that same figure in the battle against the Aldebaran Narwhal.
That is what Skirk's master, the foul, Sertologi, looked like at one point in time. Of course, as a higher being, physical form is a triviality to him. He could appear as a beast, a human, or even a monster that defies description. The form you see him in here, clad in abyssal armor, is the one he usually wears when traveling through the stars.
Random number. And yes, I do have Second Sanctuary as my phone ringtone. It fits so perfectly. How would you not think about that after hearing the first and Second Sanctuary for the first time? It's such a good song. We're just master ciphers, Skirk and Child. I see why Skirk chose to distance herself from the entity. So Turtology told her to put down roots here, while at the same time threatening to destroy whatever life she managed to create.
For certain reasons, I need to bridge the power gap between me and my master as quickly as possible. But first, I need to understand the source of his strength. To do that, I need to follow in his footsteps, walk the path he once walked, and somewhere along the way, I'll find out how to defeat him.
That's what she meant. I still don't understand why Sertologi would do that. From what he said, I didn't pick up on a conflict
I'll
between them.
let you in on a little secret. The scope of his power is impossible to understand until you experience it firsthand. Shall we keep going?
Really interested to see where Sertologi comes in the future patches. I do think we're going to get a lot related to him, considering he's very intertwined with the actual main story objective. He's one of the 5 sinners, I think. If I remember correctly, Sertologi the Foul should be one of them. Not to mention Sertologi was one of the comrades of Dainsliff when she was a kid.
Quite a ways already. This is Skirk, when she first began training under Sertologi.
I have set your broken wrist. Tomorrow, you are to train twice as hard. No tears this time. Good. Attempting to garner sympathy through tears is a habit of the weak. A pitiful, useless ploy.
Can I ask a question, Master? Why did you save me? I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died. I wouldn't be haunted by that fire all the time.
I saved you because I have a plan for you. It has been too long Since I fought a battle that demanded my full strength, and I hunger for it. Every so-called genius and prodigy I have faced has crumbled like sand underfoot. Before me, even fate bends the knee. So, I will teach you everything I know. Train me by whatever means necessary, in the hope that one day, you might surprise me.
But I don't want to draw my sword against you, Master.
What you want matters little. Among the boundless sea of stars, the cries of the weak are but faint murmurs that disappear into the void. You of all people know that well.
Yes, Master. From that day forward, all she knew was grueling training, emptiness, and fatigue. After some time, her talent bloomed. It was not that human emotions disappeared from her heart, but that reason came to dictate all she was allowed to feel. I suppose it was at this point that she became the Skirk you know today.
Well, you saved Skirk from a disaster when she was a child, never even tried to hide his ulterior motive. Suppose that leaves one final mystery. What really happened with the disaster back then? So to Loki's final words to Skirk, cold and cool, but Skirk's reaction made it seem like it was a truth she knew all too well. I have a feeling it all comes back to what happened back then.
We're nearly there. I almost don't want to reach the end. Well, shall we?
Will we ever be able to come back here? Oh, I can't even access it? Oh, I wanted to take pictures.
These are Skirk's happiest memories. What a simple and carefree time it was. Wisps of clouds dotted the sky. The sun bathed everything in golden light. And when song filled the air, not even the shyest of flowers could resist swaying along. This is Skirk's homeland. She was so curious about everything as a child. There was so much to discover. The treasures at the bottom of the sea. The secrets beyond the stars. And that merchant ship packed with adults wearing those strange clothes. It was a spaceship. When it arrived, the people that disembarked wore smiles on their faces and spoke of friendship. They claimed to be merchants from a neighboring planet, looking to establish trade.
I have a feeling it's the Sky People. Or something similar.
Skirk's parents, her relatives, her neighbors, everyone welcomed the newcomers with open arms and allowed them to explore the planet. To them, the visitors were guests and should be treated with hospitality. No one had any idea of what was to come. Several months later, an army of unknown origin arrived without warning and carried out a ruthless campaign to destroy everything and everyone on the planet. Skirk had skipped school that day, like so many times before, so she was not caught in the immediate wave of destruction. But when she came home that day, only fire and ruin awaited her.
What's on her bag? Seems like she has weird like stuff on her back. Do they have like special like things? Like a special thing that makes them unique?
Countless people cried out to her for help. People she knew and loved. Friends and relatives. The little girl who lived next door. The shop owner with the bad leg. The bad-tempered teacher she had made fun of just that morning. Their lives were discarded like worthless trash as the fire consumed one life after another. Skirk was helpless. All she could do was run. And so she did. She kept running until an unexpected figure crossed her path. If Sertology hadn't been there in that moment, the fire would have claimed her life too. And there she would have remained, left to rot in the scorched earth, with no answer as to why any of this was happening. Because she and her people were seen as a threat. As the initial merchant ship explored the planet, they discovered that it hadn't always had the conditions to support life. Yet there was evidence of human activity, even during the periods of extreme heat or cold in the past. Further research revealed that, over time, the people of this planet had evolved the ability to adapt to any type of environment or energy source. For that reason, the outsiders viewed them as a potential threat, and decided to eliminate them before the threat could rear its head. And so, the army was called, and the so-called danger was wiped from the face of the planet.
Just because of speculation?
Senseless, isn't it? Deemed a threat because of a gift they didn't even know they had. Perhaps it was their own innocence and kindness that doomed them. But in the end, that was lost to the blaze as well. If those with power get to decide good and evil, then all you can trust in is the sword in your hand. And so, before death could claim her, she ran. She ran and never stopped. No one wants to relive their most painful moments. Well, that brings us to the end of the story. This is as far as we can go. Skirk is waiting over there. For both of us. Let's go to her. It's time to fulfill my purpose.
See what your purpose is.
So all this, just so you could bring her here?
I have things to say to you. Well, to me. I want someone to witness our reconciliation, even if it takes an argument to get there. And she's the best choice in this moment.
You must be.
Suppressed emotional self. The version of herself she keeps locked in the recesses of her mind. Stifled by reason. All those rejected impulses. Those discarded aspects of your past selves. They are a part of me now. I am who you used to be. Someone you have refused to face for too long. So, I came to face you instead.
You're wrong. I've faced you all along. And that's exactly why I keep you locked here. Your existence makes me weak. Moments of joy and longing are when we are most vulnerable. Don't forget, it was a penchant for goodness over reason that doomed our homeland in the first place. The vastness of the universe renders everything insignificant. Our feelings most of all.
Even so, learning from the mistakes of the past doesn't have to mean erasing everything. Strip yourself of your so-called weaknesses. Emotions like kindness and empathy. And what makes you any different from the ruthless soldiers who slaughtered our people?
The difference is that I'm doing what is right, what is necessary. I allow you to exist, but with limited freedom. That is the greatest kindness I can offer. I've shouldered everything you couldn't carry. I rose above the numbness and emptiness. And it was cold, unfeeling reason that brought me this far. It made me who I am. It made me strong.
That is the problem. I want to shoulder those things together on the grand scale of the entire universe. Maybe our feelings are vanishingly small, but why should that mean they don't matter? Emotion gives warmth to the cold expanse of space. It gives meaning to the world around us. Think back to those nights of gazing at the stars, those afternoons of exploring the unknown. Think back and let them grant you peace. A brief respite from the pressures you put on yourself.
That isn't what we need.
Exactly what we need. Aren't you curious about why recovering your strength has taken longer than normal this time?
Finally, we get to the important part. That is the only answer I came here to find.
Then look around. Look at your inner world. You cast aside your dreams and curiosity. And in doing so, you lost your original motivation. You severed all connection to who you used to be, so you can no longer draw strength from your past. Now, the only things driving you forward are fear and survivor's guilt. But these cannot take you far enough. And so, this river, the source of your strength, grows more polluted by the day.
And you think that means I should seek help from a weak little thing like you?
Your emotional self isn't weak. The fact that she transcended time and broke free from her constraints to come and face you, that proves it.
Thank you for saying that. To be honest, I'm not here to argue with you. This isn't about who's right or wrong. And in fact, I agree that in order to make it through the wake of that tragedy, we had to distance ourselves from the pain through reason over emotion. But what is right at one point in time isn't always right forever. I know you will never forget that fire. I know the fact that you were the sole survivor fills you with guilt. And I know that among the voices that haunt you, mine is there too. Because deep down, you know that you didn't turn out to be the person you wanted to be. All those unfulfilled hopes are like knives to the heart. And I don't want you to hurt anymore. So even if you can't accept me, I hope at least that you can let go.
I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died. I wouldn't be haunted by that fire all the time. I wouldn't have to go on like this.
I'm gonna start a new recording because it's already gotten too long.